All right, hello. We are live here at Bowerman Farms, blueberry heaven, right?
That's right. We're in the thick of it right now. So
Andrew was explaining to me your grandparents started this, right?
Correct. It was Grandpa and Grandma back in 1954.
Mom and Dad live right over there over
Mom
the
and
bushes.
Dad still live right on the farm. Yeah, and they took over, and we've been at it for about 63 or 64 years now.
Yeah, it's amazing. And truthfully, some of the bushes he was showing me, he was like, you can really tell that this one here is like 50 years old. This one here has been here since the farm started. This one here is new. I mean, it's amazing. He's like a wealth of knowledge, and he's going to describe right now the actual blueberry. So because I think everyone is going to have questions about this. So go ahead.
Yeah, well, I wanted to show you a couple of interesting things about a blueberry. So blueberries are protected by what we call the bloom, and it's this powdery cover that you see on there, and that protects the berry not only from the sun and the extreme heat, because as you can see this one where I've rubbed most of that off, it becomes a much darker color, and that's going to absorb the heat from the sun a lot faster.
Yeah, you're right.
And I've actually taken laser thermometers out here, and some of these berries where the bloom is missing have gotten up to 120 degrees in the middle of the sun, whereas ones that are still covered in bloom will sit closer to 75 or 80.
Okay.
So it's God's way of protecting the berries themselves.
It's natural plant protection.
Yep. So you have you have the little picking scar here where it came off of the bush. This side is what we call the calyx of the berry.
Yep.
So that's where the flower had started, and then we bring thousands and thousands of bees in here to pollinate the blueberries. So they come in and pollinate, and then it grows right out the flower from there. So this is where it's attached, and this is where the flower used to be.
Let's take a look here on one of the blueberry bushes.
Yeah, so we have a fantastic crop this year of blue crop. You can see right now that we're just getting started. We have a very few little bits here that are ready. We call that our leader pick. These are the leader berries. So we always get the biggest ones off first, and that really sends a signal to the plant that says, hey, I'm ready to start ripening now. Once I pick a couple berries, the plant says, hey, I'm starting to lose my fruit, I'm getting my seeds out there, it's time to get everything else ready. So once we pick the first couple berries off, the plant matures much, much quicker after that.
And this is something too that we notice is there's so many berries on some of these branches, the branches are starting to get heavy.
Yep.
Like look at this one.
So these usually would be standing all the way up, but because they're so heavy with fruit, they're laying down. And it's interesting, as we go through and pick these fields, you can actually watch the bushes stand back up after the fruit comes off, after we get some of the weight off of it.
And then these foil pinwheel things, that's I'm assuming to keep the birds out.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I love in farming when we see stuff like that, like all of these natural ways to keep, I mean, a bird would be a pest to the farmer for sure in this situation. So,
absolutely. These are fantastic food for birds. They love it. You can see a small amount of bird damage here, and this is what we're trying to prevent. So the streamers that you see up there, they don't like the reflectiveness. We also use propane cannons that just shoot off loud bangs every now and then. But we try to be as natural as possible. We try to do what we can to keep them away.
Yeah.
So you can also see all this bright green stuff is all brand new growth. So we get a nice growth flush in the spring, and then right after we harvest the blueberries, we'll get another really big growth flush in the fall.
So will this bear fruit? This limb here?
It's very possible, but it won't do that until the fall. It'll set fruit in the fall. Usually, the first year plants the first year canes will not produce fruit. Right. But the second year they usually will.
Okay. So this is the branch of your blueberry bush is called a cane. Is that right?
Yep. A cane.
They're called. They're agriculturally, it's a type of caneberry.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, see?
Very similar to a raspberry.
I'm learning stuff after 10 years of doing this.
Raspberries, blackberries, currants, those are all caneberries. Yep. So
yes. And Bowerman, you are just focused on Michigan blueberries.
Just Michigan blueberries.
All right, and tell our viewers and our followers a little bit more about the season.
Okay, so Michigan season starts in the end of June and will extend all the way through the beginning of October. So here on this farm, we usually start right around the 4th of July because we're right in the middle of Michigan. The farther south you go, they start a little earlier, and the farther north you go, they go a little bit later. Right. So we're right in the middle there. And so we start about July 4, and we'll pick all the way through the end of September, and then pack for about another week after that. So we'll continue shipping blueberries into the first week of October.
So you've literally always celebrated the 4th of July with blueberries.
Absolutely. And actually my anniversary is right in that same weekend.
Oh my gosh, you took on a wedding during blueberry season?
That was before I started being a farmer.
Okay.
So I learned my lesson there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, every July 4. As a matter of fact, we actually have a pancake breakfast up at the store on July 4 for charity every year. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's great. So again, we're in Holland, Michigan, right in the middle of the Bowerman Farm blueberry. Do you call it what do you call it? A blueberry farm?
Yeah, blueberry farm.
Blueberry farm.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people call them ranches. You know, I gotta always ask the farmer.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. You go a little south.
Yeah,
it's a ranch.
It's a ranch. Yeah.
Nope.
All right. And then, so on the mitten, we would be like right here, right?
If you're looking at the mitten, we're all the way on this side.
Oh, the mitten goes this way.
Yep,
okay, we're right
Detroit's kind of over here.
Right.
We're about 2 miles from the lakeshore as well.
Oh my gosh,
so we
yes.
are very, very close to the lake.
And that, I think, that climate has to help you with your longevity of the season.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that lake helps us keep a little bit cooler during the hot times.
Yeah.
And then during the winter when it's very, very cold, and that can actually damage the blueberries, it helps keep us a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
So winter damage is a major concern up in Michigan because we have very, very cold winters. So the blueberries grow very differently than they do in the South. In the South, they produce all year long. They have to trim them back a whole lot, and they try to tell the bush when to produce fruit. Here in Michigan, our winters do that for us naturally. So the bushes require a certain amount of chill hours where they go dormant. All their leaves will drop off. Everything turns very red. It becomes very beautiful out here, like a nice fall color. And then during the winter, they overwinter and they send all their energy down into the roots. And the lake helps protect us from that harsh winter cold.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's amazing. So we're having a lot of fun. Stay tuned. More photos, questions, tips, insights here from North Bay Produce and Bowerman Farms.